Vice President Kamala Harris accepting the Democratic Party's presidential nomination. In her historic speech, she vowed to be president for all Americans and really honed in on the middle class. Take a listen.
We are charting a new way forward to a future with a strong and growing middle class, because we know a strong middle class has always been critical to America's success. We will provide access to capital for small business owners and entrepreneurs and founders. And we will end America's housing shortage. Donald Trump is an unserious man, but the consequences of putting Donald Trump back in the White House are extremely serious.
Former President Donald Trump quickly reacting to the speech on Truth Social, calling it all talk and no action. With 75 days left until the presidential election, what can we expect next? Here with more on this, we've got Yahoo Finance senior columnist Rick Newman here with the details and some very high quality weighted ceramic bobbleheads as well.
Yeah. Well, with the table is set now. We have the joyful warrior. That was Kamala Harris's way of characterizing herself, and the Democrats' way of characterizing her. And Donald Trump, the angry old man. Maybe this will work again. I mean, there are a lot of Americans who are angry, so maybe they feel like Donald Trump is channeling their anger. But guys, we are finally through sort of the opening act here, and now we're getting into the home stretch, about 75 days until the election. And it is a dead heat. I mean, it is. I looked at the betting markets today, 49.2% for Trump, 49.2% for Harris. I mean, like, just as tied as you could be. So what's really gonna determine this thing during the next 75 days? We're gonna have a debate on September 10th. I think that's gonna get a huge audience. Donald Trump, people might have forgotten about this, he is going to be sentenced in September for convictions on 34 fraud counts in that New York trial. And then it's gonna be a matter of how these two candidates best get their messaging across on what they want to do. So we heard Kamala Harris talking about what she wants to do for the middle class, but we didn't get too many specifics last night. We know what some of those are. She wants to find ways to bring down the cost of housing, address high food costs. And the real question is, I think at this point, who is going to be able to connect better with a very small number of swing voters in about 7 swing states.
And then, Rick, we also have the reports that RFK is expected to drop his bid for the presidential campaign. Do you see that at all really swaying? You talk about the fact, I just bring this up because the polls are so tight. Is that really going to have any sort of impact, or how should we maybe more, I guess, broadly be thinking about that in terms of the impact?
So today, yes, it does look like it will make a difference, because so it's not just that he's going to withdraw, he's almost certainly going to endorse Donald Trump. And of course, he wants to stay in the limelight. He wants to get some kind of post or role in a Donald Trump administration if we have one. So that could bring some RFK Jr. supporters over to the Trump side, and that probably at the moment is a net gain for Trump. But that's today in August, and he's not going to be on the ballot, it looks like. So when voters look at the ballot, they're not going to see his name. So how much of a factor is that going to be when people are actually voting? Most people are going to be, if you're voting by mail, it's going to be late October or early November, or going to the polls. Are people still going to be thinking, well, I really want RFK to be in the race, but he's not, so I'm going to vote for Donald Trump? He could be long gone in people's minds by then.
All right, Yahoo Finance's own Rick Newman. I don't think the tie is long enough on that one. We'll see.
I think you're right about that.
Did you put the Band-Aid on yourself?
Yeah, it didn't come with the Band-Aid. It came before, I got it before the assassination attempt. So I guess I can, it's healed, right?
It's, well, yeah.
It appears to be.
I'll take
it had
the
that
Band-Aid
Marvel-like
off.
healing.
Brad, I will see if I can get a longer tie.
Okay. Yahoo Finance.
I'm going to be in my workshop over the weekend,
Yeah.
like an elf.
Thanks so much, Rick.